Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the wonder drug, Ozempic.
It's only been a year since Ozempic became a household name.
To take Ozempic to help with weight loss. So
The drug Ozempic.
Ozempic face.
Ozempic. Everybody is curious about this wonder weight loss drug, Ozempic. How is it benefiting in losing weight and whether it is really worth it to have this kind of a drug to lose weight. So firstly, I would like to tell you, Ozempic is not a weight loss drug. It is used for diabetic patients and the side effect of it is weight loss. There have been chances that when people are on Ozempic, the weight loss has been of muscle loss. There has been loss of bone density, poor immune system, decrease in lifespan, a lot of gastrointestinal disturbances. Moreover, if you stop having the drug, you gain back the weight. So whether it is really worth it to have this kind of a drug? First, let us understand what is Ozempic all about. So Ozempic contains Semaglutide. This is a man-made hormone. It is an agonist of GLP-1. An agonist means something that replicates, which is identical. So it is identical to GLP-1, which is glucagon-like peptide 1 hormone, which is secreted by our body. This hormone is secreted right after a meal. It brings us satiety, a feeling of fullness. It makes us to stop eating food because it gives a feeling of fullness and satiety. So semaglutide works exactly in the same way. It stimulates the release of insulin right after a meal, which helps us to bring down the blood sugar levels. The glucose is taken up by the cells, and this is very beneficial for a person who is diabetic. And since it gives a feeling of fullness and satiety, it reduces the appetite, and this leads to weight loss. So this is how the Ozempic works. But does it really work? Well, it is true, it does work. After 1 year, it has been seen that 63% of people have lost around 5% of the body weight. So if you are around 100 kgs, so you would be around 95 kgs after 1 year. It has been seen that 27% of people have lost around 10% of the body weight. That means if you're 100 kgs, you could be 90 kgs by the end of the year. Is it really worth it to have Ozempic? Does anything not work better than this? Like probably going on intermittent fasting, going on a low carb diet, exercising regularly, eating real wholesome food. I certainly believe that if you follow these kind of lifestyle, you will lose far more kgs weight rather than going on Ozempic. Now, what are the benefits of GLP-1 or semaglutide? Like I said, it reduces appetite because it brings a level of satiety and fullness. But it also decreases hydrochloric acid. It reduces the gastric juices. Now, hydrochloric acid plays a very important role in digestion of protein. It converts the inactive form of pepsinogen, which is an enzyme to digest protein, to its active form, pepsin. It kills and destroys pathogens, bacteria that are entering via food into our stomach. It helps in the absorption of minerals and vitamins like B12. It also delays gastric emptying. That means the food stays in the stomach for a longer period of time. So these are the common side effects a person feels while having semaglutide. There is lack of gastric motility. That means there is slowdown of the peristalsis movement of the gastric muscles. Now there is a benefit that it stimulates insulin and reduces blood sugar levels. Hence it is diabetic friendly. But why is this drug so popular? Because have you heard about saying you can have your cake and eat it too? Well, this holds true for this drug. So people who are on Ozempic loses weight without any added responsibility. That means they can continue to eat processed foods, junk foods, basically crap food, and still lose weight while on the drug. So it's like a win-win situation for them. They don't have to do any sacrifices like going on exercises or reducing the amount of sugar in their diet or any kind of unhealthy foods. In our country, people are suffering from malnutrition. Now, malnutrition means obesity as well as undernutrition. Because in both these things, there has been lacking of nutrients. People who are obese, who are eating a lot of processed junk foods, are having diet which are low in nutrients. Similarly, people who are undernourished, they are undernourished because they are having a diet low in nutrients. But now what works of people who are on Ozempic? So suppose a person who is eating around 3,500 calories a diet, which contains a lot of processed and junk foods. Now after having Ozempic, the appetite decreases. So now they're having around 2000 calories diet, but they're still continuing to eat junk and processed foods. So how is it benefiting them? So where is the nutrition? I can understand if person is, after having Ozempic has been shown improvement in insulin resistance. While on one side you're trying to reduce one negative impact, but on the other hand, you're raising a lot of other issues because you're continuing to eat foods that are inflammatory in nature. And these foods are going to cause you a lot of metabolic disorders later in life. So basically, they're not really helping you. Let us understand the normal human physiology. So there is something which is known as autonomic nervous system. So these include brain, spinal cord, our nervous system, which is overlooking and regulating the involuntary processes in our body, like breathing, heart rate, digestion, endocrine system, that is basically hormones. So here we are related to GLP-1, the hormone, which is very important part of our digestion. In humankind, in animals, there is need for resources. There are need for food because we need food for our survival. So it's very important that we need these resources. Now these leads to desire, a desire to eat a particular food, which is called an appetite. You desire or you have an appetite to eat a particular food. So when you ingest food, the digestion processes starts. It starts right from the mouth. When we chew our food, the salivary glands releases amylase, which helps in the digestion of carbs. The food then moves towards esophagus and enters into our stomach, where digestive juices, hydrochloric acid is released, which helps in the digestion of proteins, which kills pathogens, which helps in the absorption of minerals and vitamins. After this, the food moves into small intestine, where there is absorption of minerals and vitamins. And these are used for energy purpose, for tissue building, for muscle building. And later, it moves towards large intestine, where it's excreted via our anus. So this is how the normal physiology works. Each and every step of our digestion has a purpose. Our body is not stupid that is going through so many steps without any purpose. But now what happens if you take Ozempic? How does it disrupt our normal physiology? So the needs are always there. We need food. We need resources for survival, right? But now, where is the appetite? Where is the desire to eat? Because Ozempic reduces the desire. It reduces the appetite for food. So this is the first thing which is going against the normal physiology. Secondly, when the food enters into our stomach, there is low secretion of hydrochloric acid. Now this disrupts the digestion of proteins. Our body starts to have poor immune system because HCl plays a very important role in killing pathogens, viruses and bacteria. So that doesn't happen. So that's the reason people start becoming susceptible to more diseases. So there is poor immune system, lack of protein digestion, there is poor absorption of minerals and vitamins. So this leads to lack of tissue building, low energy. Hence when the weight loss happens, the weight loss is mostly muscle based because tissue building is not happening as protein is not getting digested. So this leads to poor muscle mass. So is it really worth it? There are a lot of side effects of having Ozempic. What are basically side effects? Anything that disrupts the normal physiology of our body. Undesirable effects after eating Ozempic or any medications. So the name itself is very alarming. Side effects. About 20% of people suffer from nausea. And this is just from the regular dose. It has been proven that people tend to increase the dose of Ozempic over a period of time because the body starts getting used to a particular dose. So it has a lessening effect every time the dose increases. So as the dose increases, higher are going to be the side effects. 9% of people suffer from vomiting. 8% suffer from diarrhea. Now these are just normal or mild side effects. Now the major side effect is gastroparesis, which is basically paralysis of stomach muscles. There has been incident where people have been vomiting after eating food because the food from the earlier day has not been digested and has been sitting in the stomach. This is because of delayed gastric emptying. This is because of paralysis of gastric muscles. So the food is not getting digested, the food has been sitting in the stomach for a day, even for so many hours, which is not really normal. So that's some serious side effect. Now there is something which is known as half-life. Every hormone that is secreted in our body has a half-life. What does half-life mean? It means the time at which the hormone is effective. There is a particular time where that hormone stays active. For example, for GLP-1, the half-time is 2 minutes. It means after 2 minutes, GLP-1, the effectiveness of GLP-1 becomes 50%. After 4 minutes, it becomes 25%. And around after 10 minutes, the effect of GLP-1 absolutely diminishes. So do you know what is the half-time of semaglutide? It is 1 week. Can you imagine how many hours are there in 1 week? So that much time the effect of semaglutide stays in the body, which is very, very dangerous. Apart from that, the industry gives tips how to manage these side effects. They tell you to eat food which is bland, low in fat, low in fiber, such as crackers, white rice, potatoes, white toast. So how these food are going to benefit you? Because they are low in nutrition, they are low in fiber. We know how much important fiber is for our gut health. So how are you getting nutrition when being on Ozempic? Now personally, I'm not against any kind of medications because I feel medications should be used for emergency cases to save someone's life in case of things which go out of hand. Obesity is a lifestyle problem, and lifestyle diseases should only be taken care with lifestyle changes. They should not be handled by taking medications. There are also certain things which you need to know about semaglutide. That rebound is very common. Once you leave the medications, you put on the weight back. So you need to have these medications for a very long time. It is a lifetime medication. Unless and until you're following a healthy lifestyle, where you're eating real food, focusing on eating whole grains, cereals, vegetables, you've been exercising regularly, then you might be able not to get the weight back. But if you're still continuing to eat the same crappy food, once you leave the medications, the weight is going to come back. Moreover, like I said before, it has a lessening effect. Your body needs more Ozempic over years because the effect of the low dose starts to reduce. So you need to increase your dose to make it more effective. It is also very expensive. So we humans are responsible for creating these diseases. And then we spend crores and millions of money by correcting these diseases. We always focus on correcting the symptoms rather than addressing the root cause. Now, this is my perspective when it comes to Ozempic. You have a choice. It is your life after all to decide whether you want to take medications or whether you don't want to take medication. It is ultimately your choice whether to eat crappy food, take medications and lose weight, and probably when you reach 40s or 50s, you'll start to develop fatigue, brain fog, chronic pain, inflammation, metabolic diseases like cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes. There may be even some difficulties in mobility. Or on the other hand, you can address the root cause. You can start eating regular normal foods. You can start eating foods that are real, natural foods. You should honor our body's physiology. You should exercise regularly. Hydrate yourself. Do meditation. Sleep. Avoid processed junk foods or limit their consumption. So I hope these points were useful. I'll be posting more videos related to nutrition and health. This is Menka Vijan signing off. Thank you.